This is Kelly Griffith, Superintendent of Talbot County Public Schools. I'm here today to talk about the shift of the Common Core state standards in our classrooms all across the county. Our teachers are excited and our parents want to know more about what's happening in the classrooms. Who would be better to ask than the teachers themselves? Let's take a look.
I also love Common Core, I'll just come right out and say that, because I can be creative with the way that I teach the math. There's no script to follow, there's no today you're doing this, tomorrow you're doing that. I can cater my lessons for my kids way more than I ever could before. And so I appreciate that as a professional I can use my judgment to do the best for my students. I was at home and my husband was looking at the math test that my kids took last week and he said, "They're doing algebra in third grade." And I said, "Yeah." And he was like, "There's no way that we could have done that." That's just one example that we're going so much further into harder math concepts at such an early age that I could foresee when they get up to high school and college, they're going to be able to do things so much faster, and I don't even know what they're going to be able to do at that point because we're doing so much more.
Nowadays are really bright and they're really holding on to Common Core. It's a lot of working together, which we want to do. You talk to your friends at your table, you talk to your neighbor, how do we solve? Teachers have to stand back and shh and kind of let the boys and girls tell their story. And I think we're just so used to being in front and telling them what to do. But now it's time for them to discover, to explore.
Before we would prepare students for a specific job, but now our role is more to prepare students on how to think, how to work together with other people, and how to give constructive feedback, how to receive feedback. And you don't get that by sitting in neat rows and listening to what the teacher is telling you and giving back to the teacher what she has said. You only get that through cooperative problem solving and really going deep to understand the standard.
Because I liked the speaking and listening objectives.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was for Black History Month when we got the civil rights email from Kelly. I was like, boom. And we did, a play at the end, and we pulled all the resources. We're like, here's a poem about civil rights. You just pull those standards as they blend.
A couple of our kids wrote.
The kids that, they wrote an essay, Breaking Barriers.
I think we have the ability to be the teachers we always wanted to be. We have the freedom to, like I said, our creative ability isn't stifled. It's funny how many management issues and behavior issues seem to disappear when you start working a kid into their strengths. And saying, instead, you've got to fit this mold and you've got to meet this mark by the end of the year. But again, creating those multiple avenues to where everybody can get to the same spot.
I do a lot of, myself in the classroom in social studies, we do a lot of station activities. One person could be a director, another person could be the props manager, another person could be the historian. And we rely, it's project management, it's project based. We're not just setting up rows of students and one person does the work and that's it. We're always trying to figure out what else we can do in our classroom to make it more fun.
Prior to the Common Core, often at the secondary level, teachers were presenting information to students, giving notes, going through information through PowerPoints. And now what you'll see in the classroom is students engaged more in group work, where they might be reading multiple texts, trying to look at the different perspectives that are presented in there, and to come to some of their own conclusions about what the key points are in the reading instead of the teacher being the one who would have told them that. So students are being asked to be more critical thinkers and to be more discerning in taking in the information that they're getting and making sense and meaning of it.
It's not just one standard form. We're letting them research. We're letting them write to inform, write opinion pieces, argumentative pieces. So it's really giving them that freedom, and the writing that they're doing is phenomenal. I mean, we're trying to give children more options instead of sitting down and doing a worksheet upon worksheet upon worksheet. So far this year we've really implemented it. Last year I started with reading, but this year it's really taken off, and I wouldn't change it or go back to the old way. I really wouldn't.
Reading and writing, it's not just writing, it's not just reading. They are writing to source. So they are taking what they've read about and using it to write something about it. They're using information from what they're reading to construct more concrete ideas about what they're learning, rather than just regurgitating X, Y, and Z. They're telling us how they're connecting it, how they're putting it all together through the writing process.
And that's one thing I like about the Common Core, is that I don't have to hover over them. I give them the skills that they need, as far as what the reading skills or comprehension skills that they need, or analysis skills that they need. In writing, what are the writing skills that they need? And based on that, they're able to build on it. And it's kind of been like, to me, Common Core is like a building block. And as long as each grade level is doing that part to help the students meet the objective at that particular grade level, by the time they get to me, and I provide that structure, by the time they get to high school and on to college, we've built a stronger foundation for them all the way through the school.
We usually have an art piece that commemorates the learning that we share with the entire school. So the school is involved with not only producing the piece, but also with the process of infusing the Common Core standards within the artwork and then sharing it with the whole school community.
This man and Martin Luther King.
They kind of tie in together, really. It's kind of like the same time but different countries tie together. And it's not only the art class that worked on it, it was social studies, and then we had to do some writing about it, reflect on it. So it's not just us that are proud of it, it's everyone else in the school, because there was a lot of us. It was like a huge group of us that came in, and even if it was just like writing one quote, they still got to contribute, so everyone can be proud of it.
As I've been walking through classrooms, talking with teachers and in our school buildings, I have seen the positive effects of this shift to the Common Core. Our system has been a good school system, and I think Common Core is pushing us to the next level. Our teachers are more rigorous in their expectations for our students. Content has been shifted down to earlier grades, and our younger students are able to handle the material, which has been to their benefit and means that by the time we are finished and they graduate college and career ready, they will be truly prepared to move out into college or the world of work, truly ready for the next step in their lives.